What's happening? YouTube, it is your boy Trev. Okay, so just concluded a meeting for RAKOFF token for Protocol X with Frag and LL69 and our lead developer. 2-hour conversation. Not all of it was about Protocol X. Sometimes we kind of get off into other things. I sit back and let those guys kind of geek out on on crypto stuff, which is cool to listen to and always very educational. So I'm learning a lot in this process. I'm learning a lot about the development from the ground up of this type of project. Excuse me. And you know, when you have a bunch of meetings and conversations and everything's going really, really well, you feel like that's the way it's going to go, like every time. And you know, every new meeting is going to be, you know, such a huge leap forward or whatever. But that's not always going to be the case. It's just not realistic. It's not real life. Sometimes you have a meeting and you got a bunch of things that you still have to kind of iron out. It's not really a meeting that progresses you or makes you feel like you're moving forward really fast or whatever. And those meetings are going to happen along the way. Fortunately, that's not what happened today. We had one hell of a meeting today. Loved it. Loved everything about it. So I'm going to give you the general kind of gist of it. And there's some really exciting stuff, really. And some really good news for all of you who are invested in this, who are considering investing in this. Understand that nothing I say is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but I'm just going to give you some information that you can use to kind of make up your own mind as to what you want to do. If you could, hit the like button. Don't forget to do it. Like, do it right now if you could. Share this video. Helps it get out. Leave comments in the comment section when we're done. Even if you're just saying, hey, what's up, Trev? I appreciate it. You guys know that I really try to answer all the comments, or at least, acknowledge that I saw them. So if you could do that, and if you want to subscribe, go ahead, whatever. Anyway, all right, so here's kind of the gist of it. So we had this chit-chat, this powwow, and we've been talking a lot about the documentation, right? This thing that's being done on they use Gitbook, and they write out all this documentation. And there's been a lot of tweaking and fine-tuning, getting the documentation exactly right so that the team, everybody involved, not only the developers, but, Frag and LL, right? Everybody is on the same page as far as what actually is being developed, how it's going to work and all that. Okay. We've been working on that. Well, not really the final draft, but kind of the final draft was submitted a couple days ago, for LL and Frag to go over, which they did, and they are extremely happy that what they've iterated to the development team is being understood, is being implemented. Everybody understands exactly how to do this, what these guys mean, what they're looking for, and the documentation already reflects all that. Everything is kind of ready to go. Now, what I'm understanding with this type of documentation, this Gitbook thing, is that there comes to a point where you get it really good, right? But as you go on, maybe little things are changed or added or whatever to the Gitbook, and that's fine. The main thing here is that we are at a point right now where the lead developer is going to have a meeting probably on Monday. Now, whenever I give you dates and whenever I give you times, always understand this is crypto, right? Real life stuff sometimes puts a damper on your schedule. So, perfect world, this is the plan right now. Probably on Monday, lead dev is going to meet with the rest of the team, and they are going to, after all of these changes or whatever that were made to the documentation, they're going to nail to the wall, I guess the way as he put it, or hang on the wall or whatever, the roadmap, the path that they're going to take, right, to get this thing implemented, the milestones, whatever it is that they're going to work out, exactly how they're going to get it done. Now, after each section, that amount of work will be completed and submitted to the guys to put it into testnet, to go over it, to make sure that everything is working properly, right? And then they go on, once that's all squared away, they go on to the next phase. What I wanted to hear was, when are fingers going to be on the keyboards? When are we actually starting this implementation phase where it's actually being coded and written now? And the answer to that is probably as early as maybe Wednesday or Thursday of this week. These guys, again, they're gonna, they'll put together these milestones or just kind of fine tune them or whatever. Just show it to the guys. This is what we're doing. This is how we're gonna do it. If there are any comments or suggestions, that's the time to do it. Probably there won't be. And as soon as the guys look at it and say, okay, awesome, thumbs up, that day, the development team starts writing the code and writing Protocol X. So we're really, really cooking now. We're really, really moving. This week coming up, barring any craziness, right? This is going to start being developed and implemented, and it's just crazy to me to watch all this. I'm really, really excited about it. Another piece of information that I have for you is, yes, we have been very tight-lipped about Protocol X, about what it is, about what it's going to do, and that's been exciting. Although people are getting a little antsy, they kind of want to know what it is at this point. Enough with the kind of hints or whatever. Well, you're not going to have to wait until this whole entire thing is done before you find out what Protocol X is. Actually, the way this is going to work, if I understood it correctly, is that probably by the end of the first and I'm calling it milestone, they probably call it something else, but by the end of the first section, the first milestone, when this thing goes to be tested on testnet, once it's on testnet, other people can see it. They're going to know what it is, right? So announcements are going to be made. We're going to start talking about it before that happens. Time frame, don't hold me to this. We could actually start kind of being a little more clear about what Protocol X is over the next, maybe within the next month, maybe within the next 2 months. But again, it's tough to really pin that down, but you're not going to have to wait until, October or September or whatever to find out what this is. You're going to find out what it is. Well, why do you need to know that? So you can use that information to decide what it is you want to do. Right now, RAKOFF is fairly low, price-wise. It's pretty low. I think I can. I think I can show you if I take you like this. Yeah. So let's do this. So here's where we are. I'll tell you. Last night, I'm gonna blow this up for a minute just so I can show you. Last night, this thing dipped way, way down. It got into the 501 area, right? Am I looking at the right thing? Oh, no. I'm sorry. This was on yeah, let me take you over to this one. Over on the BNB side, right? You can see it, that big red wick, okay? It got down to 501225. That was one hell of a dip. I happened to be awake, and I happened to do everything I could possibly do to scrounge up some BNB, and I bought some more. I bought that dip. I probably caught it at 5014 or 15 or something like that. And then I was happy to have done that. I actually was trying to scramble to get more. I just couldn't get it done. And in the interim, it came back up. It came back up to like 503. Now sitting at 50419. Still very low, okay? And this is why I'm telling you that we are going to start talking more seriously about Protocol X with the community and what it is. The reason I'm letting you know that is because once we start doing that, people who know what this is. Know what when we tell them what it is, and they're like, "Oh, really? You're doing that, right?" If I were to have a crystal ball, I think what I would see in it is FOMO, is excitement, is the price going up because people grabbing some RAKOFF. Now, again, I can't guarantee that, but I can kind of see where that would probably be the logical thing that's going to happen. And so before that happens, you've got a shorter window now. And I'm not trying to push you to buy. You really got to do whatever you want to do with your money, right? I'm just trying to express the urgency to you that if you're someone who's been sitting on the fence and saying, I've got time, I'll wait, the time is getting shorter, possibly, right? Because once we start talking about this thing and really getting it out there, that's when I think we're really going to start building some excitement about what is being built here. And at that point, you could see this thing moving so fast that you only wish you could have got in at 503, 504, whatever it is. So I wanted to let you know that. Now, you know I love to use this little regression tool here, and that's this purple and green kind of area, right? And the way that I use this, and again, I've said, I don't even know if I use this right, but this is what's worked for me with this particular tool. The purple and green sections, consider that the average over the time. So I've started it at the very beginning, the launch, up until now. So it averages everything out in that time period. Now, a chart can only show you what's already happened. It can't show you what's about to happen. But sometimes you can use these tools to say, historically, this is kind of what's happened. So let me kind of go with that, and that'll help you maybe to make some decisions, right? So anything outside of this range, we've got extremes, okay? So up above this purple section, this is an area where if you were going to take profits, and you can see historically, right? If you were going to take profits, those were the times to take profits. Take profits and pay your bills. Take some profits and hold on to it and wait for a dip and buy back in and pad your bag. A lot of people have been doing that, right? It's a very smart way to go about trading. But so everything outside, so you can see that we've had some areas that have really, really been way outside of what has been average over the life of this project. In the purple section, this is an area historically where you can look back now and you can see those were good areas to kind of hold, right? Not to really do anything. Definitely not to sell, but to hold. Maybe to DCA, dollar cost average in, maybe, right? If you've got confidence in a project and you know that it's, it has longevity and you expect that it's going to over time go up, maybe those are areas that you wanted to DCA. You could do that if you wanted to. The green section is really the spot where if you're going to pad your bag or if you're even going to jump in, those were the areas that you really should have done that, okay? Let me get rid of this right here so you can see this a little more clearly. In any of these areas that are in this green, you can see over time, those were great areas to buy at. If you had bought anywhere in here, you had this big run up, right? And it stayed there for quite a while. When it dipped back down and came back into that green area, went back up. Right now, we're back in this green area. We're back in this green area where, again, if you're going to buy, it's a good spot to buy. But we are actually below that area. For me, that is just an area where if you're not loading your bags, I think you're out of your mind. It doesn't typically go that low. This is the first time, averaging from beginning to now, this is the first time that we've dipped below the average, okay? Now, again, don't forget, right? If we do, let me do a trend line, right? If we start from the launch up to where we are right now, understand we're still in an incline. I mean, this project is doing very, very well. We're still in a bullish incline. So even though we're at a point right now where it is below what has been average, it's still a very strong project. And with everything that's coming, I mean, you're going to have to make up your own minds, but I'm just telling you, I had to buy some. And even if it didn't go down to 001, where it is right now, if I woke up this morning and I saw that, I would be like, holy shit. And I would gather up whatever I could gather up and I would grab it. And that's what I would have done. And I did that actually. And I patted my bag quite nicely, right? So that's where we are. That's what's going on. You can make up your mind on it. Again, this is the BNB chart. We can go over to the Lunk chart and see what's going on over there. And same thing. So on Lunk side, it was up to about 5048, right? I saw what was going on over on the other side, so I decided to sell some. I think I sold like, I forget what, like 100 million, something like that. I sold on this side, and then I was going to finagle, do whatever I had to do to take that money, bring it over to BNB, and then buy in, right? But while I was trying to get all that done, the Lunk side started dropping significantly. It went from 5048 down to 5036 or 37 or something like that. And so I just bought back in at that point. It was easier than trying to get that money over to BNB. By the time I got it over there, it was already on the rise. It was coming back up. So I grabbed it right here and again padded my bags. Before all this happened, I had 1.34 billion on the Lunk side, and over on the BNB side, I think I had, I don't know, 250 million or something like that. Well, 250 million, I think, right? After it's all said and done, between the two chains, I'm looking at over 1.7 billion worth because I bought those dips, and I know what's coming. Not only Protocol X, but all this stuff that Redline is working on. He says that these bots that he has that are going to be doing like market making and going to be doing some arbitrage and stuff, these are going to really have a really good effect on the price action and on the volume. So these things are kind of imminent and happening. So I don't know what else to tell you. If you're not seeing the writing on the wall here, this project is really, really strong. I love everything that's happening. Everything is working out so well that you're almost waiting for some catastrophe to happen. But there's really just kind of no way I see that could ever happen. And so I'm happy to just grab as much as I can when I can. All right, if you have any questions, please leave those comments in the comment sections. If I don't have the answers, I will try to get the answers for you. But that is kind of what's happening right now. That is what happened with our meeting. I'm happy to bring you those updates. And when they actually start, right, whether it's Wednesday, Thursday, right, if everything goes perfectly, when they actually start, they've got the okay and they say, okay, programming now. When that actually happens, I'll let you know that too. Don't wait. If you're looking to get in, don't wait. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Ciao.